With our score this year for Modern Warfare 3, it was important for us to stay faithful to Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, but we wanted to also evolve it. We wanted to work with a composer who can incorporate themes that were already established, but take it to a new place, take it to a world that we were creating for Modern Warfare 3. And we had this awesome opportunity to work with Walter.
The game comes with a legacy from the last 2 decades of games that were developed in the Call of Duty universe with a vast soundscape. So I knew that this game had to be different and stand out on its own and reflect the storyline in the single-player campaign. And in order to do that, I needed to create its own sound world that still fits within a Modern Warfare Call of Duty franchise, but elevates and sounds different in its own way because our story goes quite dark in places. This is why I knew that I had to be menacing in the sound, so naturally I went to modular synths with electronic sounds just to find the heart of the score.
For me, it really landed when Walter sent his demo to us. He recorded a bunch of soloists, some string players. He recorded small ensembles and put together this demo. And ultimately, that original piece that he created ended up being the core theme for Modern Warfare 3 that we've built upon.
Walter came to the table and actually brought us new ideas just initially in the first demo he presented, where we're taking some of the natural and organic elements that have been present in scores past and some of the heavily electronic and process sounds and kind of blurring the lines even more than they had been in the past.
So in the initial pitch for the game, I wrote a theme that I called Stealth. Stealth had this very full-pointed cello, and then we have those big drums as a kind of a counterpoint to the cello. That was really liked by Dave. Now, a few months on, that track became the theme of Captain Price. So whenever we see Price, it's connected to actually what I'd written in the initial stage of this process.
Walter's got such a great relationship with all the synthesizers and drum machines and cool electronic instruments at his disposal. And then when we combine that with some of the extended techniques and really interesting things that the London Contemporary Orchestra can do, we get these new sonic spaces that are very new to us and I think new to the franchise, but still very much inspired by all that's come before.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has a really specific challenge in that we have these new open combat missions. Implementing music in an open combat mission where a player can do whatever they want to do, it means that we can never predict what they're going to do and have to have the music play the role as a storyteller, still identify what the player is doing and react to the world, but it has to be able to do that systematically. We can't do it in the same way that we would have done it in one of our more traditional linear campaign levels. So we worked with Spider Farm and we worked with Walter to come up with a bunch of music cues that would work for the open combat missions so that they were really, really reactive to what the player did. So if the player is in stealth, the music system will detect that to play stealth music to tell the player, hey, nobody's found you yet, you can go about this in a quiet way and accomplish your goal that way. But if you are discovered by an enemy, or if you decide to go in guns blazing because that's your style of gameplay, music will react to that as well and bump up intensity level to something that is more reflective of you being in combat.
In the campaign, there's lots of really dynamic moments. You can go from sneaking around, which would be electronic pulses and ambient layers, to like full-blown combat, aggressive strings, rock and roll brass, big drums. And our job as a music team is to make sure that those transitions are as smooth and effortless and as cinematic as possible.
Makarov is an incredibly important villain to the franchise, and it really takes the team in Modern Warfare 3 to a darker place. And so the score is helping to communicate that emotional journey.
Makarov is the big antagonist. As you would expect, he needs a very dark and sinister theme that underlines the unexpectancy that this character brings with him. And that gave us a great opportunity to explore Makarov from a sinister electronic background. That was quite a big moment for us as a team to establish the theme of Makarov.
Our team at Spider Farm love working with a team like Sledgehammer because we care about the same thing, which is attention to detail. And in a video game especially, that's what makes a good score a great score. We can have the best music in the world, and if we don't spend the time and the energy making sure that it's woven throughout the gaming experience the way it should be, then it's just really good music playing in the background.
So at the end of the day, we go through all this effort, not only because we're passionate about it and we love it, but the most important thing to us is that the player has an awesome immersive experience. We want you to feel badass at certain times and we want you to feel terrified at other times. And so we go to all this trouble, we build all this fancy tech to make sure that the player has a truly cinematic experience.